A royal wedding meant to bring peace. Instead, it became a bloodbath. Catherine de' Medici smiled as the celebrations began, but behind the scenes, she had already set a deadly plan in motion. One assassination turned into thousands as the streets of Paris ran red with the blood of Protestants. She later claimed it was out of her hands, but was it really? How do you live with the weight of a massacre you helped unleash? But this was just one of many ruthless decisions that defined her reign. She was the power behind the French throne, maneuvering through deadly court intrigue, religious wars, and betrayal at every turn. Today we uncover the chilling reality of Catherine de' Medici's rule, the secrets, the sacrifices, and the moral lines she was willing to cross. If you love gripping stories of power and deception, make sure to subscribe for more. On August 18, 1572, Paris was alive with celebration. The marriage of Catherine's daughter, Marguerite de Valois, to the Protestant leader Henry of Navarre was supposed to bring peace between warring Catholics and Protestants. The city was overflowing with Protestant nobles who had come for the occasion, believing they were safe under the crown's protection. But Catherine had other plans. Just days after the wedding, Admiral Gaspard de Coligny, a key Protestant leader, was shot in an assassination attempt. He survived, barely, but Catherine and her Catholic allies feared he would retaliate, so they made a decision that would stain history in blood. On the night of August 23rd, the bells of Saint-Germain-l'Auxerrois rang out. It was the signal. Doors burst open, soldiers and mobs flooded the streets, dragging Protestants from their beds. What started as targeted assassinations spiraled into an uncontrolled frenzy of slaughter. Bodies littered the Seine, the smell of blood clung to the air, and for 3 days, Paris became a nightmare. Tens of thousands died across France in the weeks that followed. Catherine later claimed she had no control over the chaos, but many believed she had orchestrated it from the start. Would you be able to live with such a decision? Tell us in the comments, do you think she was a strategic genius or a villain beyond redemption? Catherine wasn't born into royalty. She was born into a world where power had to be seized, not inherited. An Italian noblewoman from the powerful Medici family, she was married off to Henry II of France, but as queen, she was overshadowed by her husband's mistress, Diane de Poitiers. It wasn't until Henry's death that Catherine finally held real power through her young sons, who became kings one after another. She ruled France from behind the scenes, but ruling meant making impossible choices. She used spies, poisoners, and informants to keep her enemies at bay. Her infamous flying squadron of beautiful female spies seduced powerful men to extract secrets. She played Catholic and Protestant factions against each other to maintain her grip on power. And when her children's reigns started to crumble, she resorted to extreme measures. Catherine's entire life was a battle for survival, and one of the clearest examples was her early years as Queen of France. When her husband, Henry II, died in a jousting accident in 1559, she was left in a dangerous position. Her son, Francis II, was just 15 years old, and real power was slipping into the hands of the powerful Guise family. Catherine had to act fast. She aligned with Protestant leaders, then later betrayed them when it suited her. But the real moment that showed her ruthless survival instinct came after the death of her second son, Charles IX. Her third son, Henry III, became king, but his authority was constantly challenged. To secure her reign, Catherine helped orchestrate the murders of the Duke of Guise and his brother, who were popular Catholic leaders threatening her son's power. It was a shocking moment. The king invited them to a meeting, and his men brutally assassinated them in cold blood. It worked in the short term, but the act left Henry III deeply unpopular. Catherine had spent her entire life fighting to keep her family in power, only to watch everything crumble. The cost? Endless paranoia, the deaths of countless rivals, and the destruction of her own dynasty. She even forced her own daughter, Marguerite, into a marriage she despised, just to strengthen France's political alliances. Imagine making decisions that destroyed your own family for the sake of power. Could you do it? If this story has you hooked, hit that like button. It helps us bring you more shocking historical tales. By the time Catherine died in 1589, her legacy was sealed. She had kept France together through decades of war, but at a tremendous cost. She was feared, hated, and accused of using black magic and poison to control the court. Some saw her as a brilliant strategist who did what was necessary to keep the throne intact. Others saw her as a ruthless manipulator who left a trail of blood behind her. Although Catherine likely didn't anticipate the full scale of the slaughter, she was blamed for it entirely. The massacre earned her the nickname the Black Queen, a symbol of death and treachery. But her personal life was just as tragic. She had 10 children, but only 3 survived into adulthood. Her favorite son, Henry III, was assassinated by a radical monk. Her other son, Charles IX, was reportedly haunted by nightmares and guilt over the massacre he had ordered, coughing up blood in his final days. And despite all her political maneuvering, her family's rule ended with her. The Valois dynasty died with Henry III, and a new king from a different family took the throne. In the end, Catherine had fought relentlessly to secure her family's legacy, only to watch it all collapse. She spent her last years a broken woman, blamed for everything that had gone wrong in France. All her power, all her sacrifices, wasted. Even her own children suffered under her rule. Her son, Charles IX, haunted by the massacre he had approved, died young, possibly poisoned. Her last surviving son, Henry III, was assassinated. The Valois dynasty, which she had fought so hard to protect, ended with her. So, was Catherine de' Medici a queen who saved France from collapse, or a woman who sacrificed everything, including her own humanity, for power? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into the dark truths of history, make sure to subscribe. Because history isn't just about heroes, it's about the choices that define them. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.